I am Dr. Roger Libby. I'm a board-certified sex therapist and a sexologist, and I'm certified by 4 national boards, including ASEC, the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. I think the American public has a problem finding suitable therapists when they have sexual problems. They don't know where to look or what to look for. And so if I meet somebody at a restaurant or a bar and they say, "Oh, you're a sex therapist, can you tell me how you do what you do? I'd love to be a sex therapist." It's because we all kind of have an interest in the subject. Unfortunately, some counselors, just because they have an interest in the subject, think they're experts as well, and that is not true. Unfortunately, most states do not have a license for sex therapy. Florida is the only exception right now, and I think there will be others. I think it would be helpful if there were actual licenses as well as just board certifications so people would know who's qualified and experienced. If you look at the internet, you've got a whole hodgepodge of stuff. You've got people who call themselves sex therapists who are not therapists at all, or they're general therapists, and Psychology Today's website certifies them with their arrow and says, "Oh, these are good people." And you look at about 15 listings like in Seattle, and about half or less of those people are even really legitimate sex therapists. So it's a problem. And even when people are legitimate as far as certification, it doesn't mean that they have a personality and an approach and a sense of humor to really address problems with a sense of balance. What I do is I like to get people to laugh at themselves and to see themselves as cartoon characters when they look in the mirror rather than some serious fretting person. When a guy comes to me with premature ejaculation, I explain that sometimes guys don't show for the first appointment, and I figure they came early. So that's the kind of thing that I think is important, that we be able to laugh at ourselves and that we be able to realize just because we have a problem, it's a speed bump, it's not Afghanistan. Nobody's dying from this problem. It's a problem that can be solved. I'm a short-term therapist for the most part. I help solve problems pretty quickly. I see people separately and then together, so I get better information. Most marriage counselors see people together from the beginning, and they never know what they're dealing with because they don't want to tell the whole truth. And I don't think people have to reveal everything to each other. There is a fine line between privacy and secrecy, and I like to walk that line with each couple because I think we all deserve some privacy. I don't think we have to tell our partner every fantasy we have when we masturbate or when we are out in public and see somebody. That's part of our privacy. And so in our culture, we tend to make marriage all of our life rather than part of it. And I think that's a mistake. I think the lowest common denominator should be the individual. And if they happen to be married, that's part of their life, but it shouldn't be the entire focus.